King Nico Williams DEB. UT is on the horizon. Could this winger be the game-changer for Barcelona in El Clásico? Imagine the Camp Nou erupting as Nico takes on Real Madrid for the very first time. But that's not all rumor has. If Barcelona is plotting AMASSIVE summer transfer, could Nico's arrival pave the way for more signings? We're seeing whispers of midfield reinforcements and defensive rock stars joining the squad. Want to see the projected lineup including Nico take on Madrid? Drop A and follow for the full transfer breakdown live. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves because the football world is once again on the edge of something huge. The biggest rivalry in club football, Barcelona vs. Real Madrid, is about to get a serious makeover, and it could involve one of the brightest young stars in Europe, Nico Williams. That's right. And with a transfer that's looking more and more likely, we might soon see Nico Williams make his highly anticipated El Clásico debut in what could be a completely reshaped future lineup for both sides. This is not just about one signing. This is about a shift in the future of La Liga's two footballing giants. A future that could once again tilt the balance of power. So if you're a Barça fan, Madridista, or just someone obsessed with world-class football drama, get ready. This is the story of the next El Clásico era, and it begins with Nico Williams. Now, let's talk about the move itself. Nico Williams, only 21 years old, already a key figure for Athletic Club and a crucial piece of the Spanish national team, is known for his blistering pace, fearless dribbling, and eye for goal. With his brother Iñaki making waves in Bilbao and Nico carving out his own legacy, it was only a matter of time before the big clubs came calling. And guess who's first in line? Barcelona. Sources from Catalonia and top-tier transfer insiders have confirmed that Deco, Barcelona's sporting director, has made Nico one of the club's top transfer targets. Why? Because he's exactly what this Barcelona project needs. Young, explosive, and already proven in La Liga. But more importantly, he's a natural fit for Xavi's vision of width, pace, and intensity in the final third. The reported transfer fee? Somewhere between €50, 60 million, an investment that Barcelona is seriously considering, despite ongoing financial challenges. Why? Because they believe Nico can be a game-changer. A new face of the team. Someone who can terrorize defenses alongside Lamine Yamal and provide that missing threat on the left wing. And let's not forget, Nico Williams is no stranger to pressure. He's played in finals, delivered on the international stage, and shown maturity beyond his years. Add to that his chemistry with several Spain teammates who are already at Barcelona: Pedri, Gavi, Balde, and Yamal, and you've got the recipe for a future attacking trio that could dominate Europe. But here's where it gets even more interesting. We're not just talking about a Nico Williams signing. We're talking about how this move could affect the entire tactical setup of both Barcelona and Real Madrid, especially in future El Clásico showdowns. So let's look ahead. Imagine a future starting XI for Barcelona, with Nico making his El Clásico debut. What does that look like? Picture this. In goal, Marc-Andre ter Stegen's still elite, still commanding his box. In defense, a youthful but solid backline, Alejandro Balde on the left, Ronald Araujo and Pau Kubers in the center, and Jules Koundé on the right. That's pace, aggression, and intelligence. Now midfield, it's where Barça continues to build its empire. Imagine Frenkie de Jong dictating tempo, Pedri pulling strings, and Gavi bringing the fire. And then up top, Lamine Yamal on the right, Robert Lewandowski, or maybe Vitor Roque through the middle, and now Nico Williams flying down the left flank. That's a terrifying front three. Speed, flair, creativity, and goals. But let's not forget Real Madrid isn't staying quiet. Their future lineup is just as terrifying, if not more. So let's flip the script. In goal, Thibaut Courtois, still a wall. Defense, Ferland Mendy or Fran Garque on the left, Der Milito and Antonio Ardiger in the center, and Dani Carvajal holding it down on the right, or maybe Vinicius Tobias in the long term. Midfield? Oh boy. This is where Madrid's golden generation 2.0 shines. Imagine Eduardo Camavinga, our Lion Tuamni, and Jude Bellingham in a fluid trio. Three midfielders with power, control, and goal-scoring threat. And the attack? It's the stuff of nightmares for defenders. On the left, Vinicius Jr. in the middle, the new king of France, Kylian Mbappé. And on the right, Rodrigo Goes, or maybe even Arda Güler. That's speed, precision, and ruthlessness. So now picture this clash. El Clásico 2025. The stage is set. Spotify Camp Nou or Santiago Bernabéu is roaring. On one side, you have Nico Williams making his debut, ready to explode past defenders. On the other, you've got Vinicius and Mbappé linking up like lightning bolts. That's not just a football match, that's a global event. Now let's break down how Nico's role could impact Barcelona's strategy. Xavi has been experimenting with tactical flexibility. At times, Barça has looked solid in a 4-3-3. Other times, they've used a hybrid 3-4-3 in possession. With Nico in the team, Xavi gets a pure winger who can hug the touchline, stretch the defense, and allow Pedri and Gavi to operate in half spaces. Balda can overlap behind him, and suddenly, Barcelona's left side becomes a tornado of pace and skill. What Nico also brings is directness. Too often in recent seasons, Barcelona has lacked that player who just goes for it, takes on defenders, creates chaos. Nico does that instinctively. And when you pair that with Yamal on the right, defenders are going to have nightmares preparing for Barcelona. But what about Real Madrid? Their response will be tactical too. Expect Carlo Ancelotti, or whoever succeeds him in the near future, to use Tchouaméni and Camavinga to lock down the midfield and give Bellingham license to attack. Nico Williams might debut in an El Clásico where he has to go toe-to-toe with Dani Carvajal or a young Eder Militão drifting wide to cover. That battle? Fireworks. And don't forget, El Clásico isn't just about tactics. It's about energy, emotion, pressure. This is the biggest stage Nico will have ever played on. But here's the thing, he lives for these moments. At just 21, he's already shown that he doesn't shrink under pressure. If he makes his debut in an El Clásico, don't be surprised if he leaves his mark, maybe with a goal, maybe with an assist, or maybe with a piece of magic that lives forever in highlight reels. Let's now look at what this transfer means in the bigger picture for Barcelona. By bringing in Nico, they're sending a message to the world. They're building for the future. With Xavi, Deco, and Laporta working together, they're assembling a team that can dominate Europe, not just in 2025, but for the next decade. And for La Liga, this is a renaissance. For years, people talked about the decline of El Clásico after Messi and Ronaldo. But now, with Mbappé, Vinicius, Bellingham, Pedri, Yamal, and now Nico Williams, we might be witnessing the next golden era of Spanish football.